Is now the right time to buy? The age-old question. We're going to talk about that next and give you a whole year recap on this real estate market of 2022. Check this out. Hey there, it's Ryan Skaggs and this is the Mortgage Minute. Thank you so much for tuning in. This channel is dedicated to everything mortgage, real estate, and interest rates, and we're going to start with those interest rates. So we've been hovering in that low fives here for a few weeks. This week, 5.13 according to Freddie Mac, the average 30-year fix. You can check out the link below to see the weekly chart. You can actually go back historically over a decade, you can go back 30, 40 years and be able to see where interest rates have gone. Really good indicator of the current trends. Now, I will tell you, this chart comes out every Thursday, and this video is getting shot on Friday. Just from Thursday and Friday, since this chart came out, we've definitely seen rates move back up. So, the one thing I can tell you is volatility is still 100% in the market. So what we're going to talk about today is kind of a recap of 2022 and why now is a great time to buy, in my opinion. So let's talk about it. Let's look at, and I'm going to bring up on the screen here, February of 2022 versus August of 2022. So in February, we obviously saw those lower rates, as I'll highlight here, but we also saw waiving contingencies, multiple offers. You had to go over asking price. Some people clearly overpaid. Some people probably paid up, is a lot of times what I say. But long story short, you really had to pay up earlier in the year. You had to waive all your contingencies, which put you into a scenario where, maybe if you still closed, that wasn't necessarily a great buy overall. So it was a tough time to be a buyer in the earlier this year. Now, let's fast forward to current day. So now August of 2022, what are we seeing today? Obviously higher interest rates, as I pointed out there, 3.92 to 5.13. So rates are higher, but you don't have to go over asking. You can potentially get in under asking price. We're seeing price reductions right now. We're starting to see more of a balanced market versus sellers that are selling and buyers that are buying. The next one I want to put up here is a payment comparison. So I may be exaggerating a little, but overall in our local Chicagoland market, Chicago Metro, we didn't have to pay quite so much over asking price, but there are a ton of markets across the United States that you had to pay considerably over asking price. So I would say this is quite conservative for some markets and a little aggressive in others. But when you look at it of, say, a $500,000 purchase, and if you're putting 20% down, you would have had to have paid well over, upwards of 10, maybe even 20% at times to be able to get a property. So I'm showing you that in that first column there, and I'll highlight that with an arrow here. But when you look at it over on the right side, now you're seeing that you didn't have to pay up as much. You have more protections. You potentially are one or maybe just a couple offers out there. Though they're higher interest rates, here's my summary. Now, I want to hear your opinion. You can put your comments below. $100 difference for these two properties. So it's $100 more right now, but you would have saved roughly $40,000 of down payment to be able to have made this scenario work today versus before. So let's just use the loose representation of you're paying $100 more, but you have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more, $40K more in your savings account than you would have earlier in the year because you wouldn't have needed it for down payment. You wouldn't have to pay it over, and thus the loan amount would have been different, right? So I want you to consider that. What are your thoughts? Is it a good time to buy? In my opinion, absolutely. I've made a video before, and I'll link up top. Marry the house, date the rate. You can always refi. If I'm telling you it's $100 more, but you save $40K in a year, if we start to see lower interest rates, interest rates declining, we start to see those lower rates, refinance. Get that $100 less, and you would have ended up saving the $40K. So to me, it is a no-brainer out there because it's starting to shift back to the buyers from the sellers. So put your comments below. Let me know what questions you have. Check out the other videos. If you've made it this far, click that subscribe, click that like button for the video, click that subscribe, and click that bell icon to be notified as I'm putting out weekly videos on the channel. So thanks so much, stay safe, and we'll see each other again very, very soon.